It is the Wednesday edition. And sure, it's the Brian Bulaga edition, the Steve the Homer True edition. But what it really is, what all that matters is that it's the Tausch's much-teased 3-day tease rule change edition. I'm a little worried that it's been built up to such a degree that my expectations are going to exceed the reality. We'll find out together momentarily edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jace Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And the man who seeks solutions for everything, even things that don't need solutions from time to time, is in his undisclosed location. He's the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Jason. How are you?
I'm just brimming with anticipation for how you are going to solve all that ails the National Football League right here today on these airwaves. You do you feel like you've elevated expectations a little bit?
I did, and I didn't mean to. I think this is the problem when you have a lot of ideas going through your head.
Okay.
And you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to talk about? What's timely? And what are some things that you can kind of put on the back burner? This was a back burner issue. The pouring of beers and everything else wasn't. But I've noticed something this year in the NFL that's annoyed me. The reffing has been bad, but the reffing's going to be, it is what it is. But there's something that I think will cover two birds with one stone, which is something I always like doing. What do you think from a league overall perspective? Take officiating out of it. What is, player-wise, what does the league and the TV executives care the most about?
Entertain me. Scoring points, quality offensive play.
Okay, yep. Quarterback health. Would that be something that the league seems to take very seriously? Is that something that...
no doubt. I'm sorry. Was that the correct answer? I didn't deliver?
Well,
sorry.
the correct... I mean, offense, scoring points, obviously that's important. And the league scoring is way down. At least it was middle of the season. I don't think it's gone up as we saw a 10-3 clunker or whatever that game was the other day.
12-10, your final, yes.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of junk and it's a lot to do that Mark Rippon's kid has to play quarterback in the league. Nothing against Brett Rippon, but he should not have been playing. I don't think Tim Boyle should be playing. You can go through a list. I'm not sure Minnesota with Dobbs. He's out there, he's competing, but I don't think Tamron Hall should be quarterbacking. So here we go. So here's my solution. And the other problem that I've seen is the inconsistency on certain penalties being called.
All right, wait a minute. Before you do this,
the quarterback position.
Tamron Hall, doesn't she host a television show?
Yeah, I don't want her. My point was I don't want her playing quarterback in the NFL. That was my point. She can do her show. She can do whatever she wants.
Were you aiming for Taysom Hill and landed at Tamron Hall?
No, I'm thinking of who's the dude. Who's the player up in Minnesota, the young BYU quarterback? His last name's Hall. I think it's like Tom Hall or something. But
Jaron Hall.
Here's the deal. You guys get caught up in all those little loose details. That's not what I'm interested in this morning. What I am is trying to help the officials. Well, you didn't have to go back. Obviously, I misspoke. You have to help the officials, and I want to protect quarterbacks more than what they're being protected.
Sure.
And a call that the NFL has gotten wrong and has misinterpreted numerous times is the intentional grounding rule. So I propose for the NFL to get rid of intentional grounding. I want my quarterback, but there is a caveat. Matter of fact, it's a double caveated point. You guys pick holes in this after I'm done. You can dump the football at any point, but it must stay in bounds, and it must get past the line of scrimmage. So if you want to chuck something 100 yards down the field, and as long as it stays within the field of play, because I'm going to say something, the drama of where that ball is going to land and if somebody's going to pick it off is fun. Quarterbacks can now say, oh, blank, I'm in big trouble. I'm getting rid of it. I'm not going to take another hit. And maybe the Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins of the world are still playing football if this rule's in place. And now the officials, it's no longer, is he out of the pocket? Is he in the pocket? Is it this? As long as that ball lands inside the field of play and on the other side of the line of scrimmage, intentional grounding is over. We're done with it. That is my Tausch rule that I want changed. That will cover two things that will make the NFL much, much better. What do you guys think?
This was oversold. That's what I think. I thought this was going to be revolutionary.
I didn't sell it, so this is revolutionary.
So
you start thinking about all the flutter balls that are going to be up in the air that can get picked, that you think could get picked. Uh-oh, what's happening here? You can't spike the ball. You have to get it past the line of scrimmage, and it has to be in the field of play.
All right, so first, so you're saying that if I try to throw the ball away and it hits on the white chalk at all on the sideline, then I can be called for intentional grounding. Yes? Because that would be out of bounds?
If it's out of bounds, yes. If it's out of bounds, it's intentional grounding. If there's no wide receiver, obviously if you're running an angle route outside, it could be, it's not intentional grounding.
Okay, and then
But if you throw it over to Matt LaFleur on the sideline and there's nobody there, it's an intentional grounding.
Okay, and then if I'm close to the line of scrimmage, instead of your fluttering ball, that this is the flaw that I see. Okay. Instead of your fluttering ball that you are kind of excited about for all the, more interceptions and if you try chuck it as far as you can, let's say I'm scrambling and I'm 3 yards from the line of scrimmage and I spike it into the line of scrimmage. That's not getting what you're looking for. You want balls to be up for grabs. So that would be a loophole for you.
So here's the deal. I appreciate your feedback, and that is something I thought about because what I didn't want is the quarterback to be able to spike the ball like you're trying to stop the clock. So here's the deal. I'll take this
spiking
criticism.
the ball is an intentional grounding?
Yeah, it's a fair question because they want to keep the drives alive and drama.
Sure.
So, Jason, fair point. It must be 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. So, in essence, what I want
that was so easy to get you to change your rule.
If Jordan Love is in the backfield, he's dropping back to pass, and insert defensive end here, I don't care who it is coming. Danielle Hunter is breathing down his neck.
Sure.
And he just throws it 10 yards in the middle of the field, and it drops limp into the ground. No big deal. We're moving on.
Okay. And do you believe, I think the stat is 50 or 51
I think putting revolutionary rule change up on the video screen, I just said I have a rule change that's going to help the NFL thrive, and this will.
Okay. I'm curious, do you think that this would have prevented what percentage of quarterback injuries? Like, you think Rodgers doesn't rupture his Achilles because he's already spiked
it's
it?
A win. If it's 10%, it's a win. If it's 5%, it's a win. And it takes intentional. There's too many times now that the refs have to get together because they don't know what the hell they're doing on intentional ground. Was he outside the pocket? Oh, and then you get Tony Romo drawing up like a little rectangle to see it and say, oh, he's just barely inside the pocket. Get rid of it.
I like when Tony Romo draws up the rectangle.
No, you don't.
Yes,
Nobody
do.
does. And no,
No, you don't.
He's outside the pocket. He's inside the pocket. This simplifies it all, and it will save some quarterbacks hits. And I think it will add a little added drama with that fluttering ball that's up in the air that we don't know if Devondre Campbell's going to come down with it. We don't know if Justin Jefferson's going to come down with it. We don't know. It's fun. It's drama.
I look, as is often / almost always the case, I really like the fluttering ball aspect of this because that does create turnover opportunities and excitement and the anticipation of when that ball is up in the air, fluttering perhaps to just land in a open patch of green grass or AstroTurf, and perhaps land in the waiting arms of Rudy Ford. I just feel like very few quarterbacks are going to do it often enough to make this a more exciting play.
Oh, I disagree.
Just totally throw it as far as they can. You think there's going to be a lot of them that do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do, and I think you'll see people drawing up plays, and I think there'll be vacated space for this out for quarterbacks to get rid of the football.
They're going to design plays now when this rule is instituted to create open spaces for. Yeah, there's going to be essence. Here's the hook route, here's the slant route, and here's the chuck it as far as you can, or no one will be standing, so we can get out of this pass.
It will be more of we're taking a shot here, and if the safety rolls with Christian Watson and is doubling him, this is going to be an open space that you can throw the football to because we have a two-man route and we have extra protection in. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
And I don't think this is going to be something you're going to see. I mean, how many times do you have to look for intentional grounding in a game? 3 or 4. This isn't going to be something that is you're going to change. It's going to be done 50 times a game. But you're going to see it. And I think it's going to help with the safety of the quarterback, and I think it's going to help bring more points to the game. And I think it's going to get rid of a penalty that people are done with. You shouldn't lose a down. Get rid of it. I want intentional grounding begone. And this rule will revolutionize. Jana, I saw you from Pittsburgh. I saw it, and you're right. I'm going back. It is going to revolutionize the game because it's going to get rid of a dumb penalty that hurts the offenses in a big way. It's going to help the quarterback stay safer and maybe play longer. And it's going to add a little excitement with the fluttering ball syndrome. That's what's going to happen.
Fluttering ball syndrome.
You can tell me anything you want, but this is where we're at.
Are you proposing it for all levels of football? Like, is this a rule in college,
I want it to start
high
in the pros.
school?
No, listen, I don't think in high school. I mean, I'm not there. I just want to start this in the pros, and I want to see how it goes in the pros. With all the Jimmies and Joes.
Jimmies and Joes, yeah.
Jesse, you haven't really chimed in on
because
this.
I can tell you guys think this is a dumb idea. You're not poking many holes in it. Jason, you brought up you're both sitting there, and this is what annoys me about you two, if I'm being honest.
Wait a minute.
I come up with hold up, and then you guys can rebut. I come up with idea after idea on a regular basis. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're maybe not so good.
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're great.
This idea will revolutionize the game of football, and it is giving the NFL and its TV executives everything it wants, with less penalties, less quarterback injury, and more drama. It gives you the trifecta of things that TV executives and NFL people are looking for.
Okay, are you thanking yourself? Is that what that was?
I need to, because
thank me for
you
my
guys
service.
aren't thanking anybody.
All right, first of all, I poked one small hole, pierced your balloon. I poked one small hole in this.
You said right away. Well, this is oversold. This is oversold.
You changed the rule right away.
Well,
secondly, I said you oversold it. You said it was revolutionized. You said revolutionized. I can have the court reporter read back to you what you said.
No, you're right. Jana brought up a good point.
Revolutionized, and then you came back to revolutionized.
Yeah, it's a process.
There's a lot going on here.
Not a lot of conviction in your rule change here.
All right.
No,
so
I'm as convicted as I've ever been. I'm super convicted.
I don't. Okay. Let me ask you this. You like Kenny Clark. He's a frequent contributor to our program. You went on a cruise that he was on also. You didn't go on a cruise with him.
We call him Cruise Ship Kenny. Yep.
I like that. Do you not feel like, and I agree that the NFL and its television partners most definitely want their best quarterbacks to be playing all 17 games because their product is far superior to the 12-10 debacle that we watched or I listened to on Monday night, which, oh, by the way, was with one of the preferred starting quarterbacks, Justin Fields. But he missed time with an injury, right? Didn't he have a hand injury for a chunk of the season this year? So I agree with that. I agree with the reasoning behind it. But I would ask on behalf of Kenny Clark, in a league where there are many things that already go the offense's way, taking this away when you're about to sack a guy and he weasels his way out of that by throwing a pass that is clearly not intended for anyone, I would, as Kenny's proxy on this debate, be really pissed. Because I don't...
No, so... I understood that part of it. First off, nobody cares. I'm sorry, Kenny, but nobody cares about the defense. You know that already. People have been chopping at your legs for years. They don't care. They're fining you hundreds of thousands of dollars for late hits on quarterbacks. This is actually going to solve that. You're not going to get the late hits on quarterbacks now because the ball's going to be gone earlier. You're going to have less of it. So, yeah, it'll suck. You're going to have less stats, but analytics now, it's more about pressures and rushes. It's for lazy media people to just say, well, he's only got 6 sacks. He's got 300 pressures, but he's only got 6 sacks. Well, it's true. So I understand, and that was part of it, but we've all come back to I want to be entertained. I want my quarterbacks to be healthy, and I don't want wishy-washy, stupid penalties. That solves all of this. And it gives you the fluttering ball that everybody can just envision with snowflakes coming down
fluttering ball
and people
syndrome.
chasing that loose ball. Now, quarterbacks are going to be much more apt to try to dump the football now because they can't intentionally ground, but it has to stay in the field to play. There's just so much good about it that, yes, Kenny and Rashawn and some of the sack artists are going to be pissed. Hey, sorry, fellas. You guys know the pecking order of the NFL, and you ain't at the top. I apologize, but I don't apologize.
If your ball has been fluttering for more than 40 yards, see your physician.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay. All right, so are we going to open this up to public critique next?
Sure, I am open. You two numbskulls think it's a dumb idea. I'm fine with that.